So before the game, this has been hinted at for maybe a couple weeks now. The Danton Lynn was he's been looked at to uh, take his challenge to Penn State, his alma mater, to be their new defensive coordinator. And that was finalized before the USC played TCU tonight in the Alamo Bowl. And then tonight, USC took the field against a TCU team that was unranked and 8-4 in the Big 12. Their quarterback entered the transfer portal, so they had a backup quarterback. It was again the USC led 24-14 in the fourth quarter, and USC found a way to lose the game, 30-27, in overtime. On the final play of the game, the offensive player for TCU, I think, broke 2 tackles, and still and made it in the end zone. So I guess that was USC's tribute to their departing defensive coordinator. Now, for the record, I like Danton Lynn. I was hoping that they find a way to retain him. Obviously, that's not happening. I don't know I guess he just wanted to go back to his alma mater. I don't know. Normally, you don't see even USC assistants make bilateral moves like that. Usually, if you're an assistant coach at USC, you're only taking another job to become a head coach. So this is one of those that's like when they like I said, with Notre Dame losing Brian Kelly to LSU and Oklahoma losing Lincoln Riley to USC, they'll go like, well, you don't get to leave us. What's wrong with you? And go to another program where we're cream of the crop. And I think that's, it's finally, I was not, like I said, USC has only lost head coaches to the NFL, but now they lost their coordinator to another program. So that makes me, like I said, so this is how the Oklahoma and Notre Dame feel kind of. But yeah, definitely he had made USC's defense better. I feel like since taking over, they were awful before he took over. And they got a lot better. Still not elite by any means. Still have problems tackling. But some of that stuff is just like a personnel problem because they don't. It's like the players on defense are too small now. When I was coming up, and I said this before, USC had, I know the game is different now. The players are more lean. It's more about speed in football. But when I was coming up, man, USC's guys were jacked. They were played hard. They played physical. It was SC Wild Bunch. Now it's not like that anymore. But anyway, I don't know. We'll have to see. A lot of names floated around about who might replace Danton Lynn. And I think more than anything, it's a personnel thing. Jade Mayaba was 18 of 30 for 280 yards and a touchdown with 2 interceptions. King Miller was 18 for 99 for 18 carries for 99 yards and a touchdown. Tanu Kynes had 6 catches for 163 yards, but no other receiver had more than 31 yards. Now, of course, USC was without Mekhi Lemon, Jacoby Lane, the 2 leading receivers who will be going to the NFL. Also, Kamari Ramsey and Bishop Fitzgerald, who will be doing the same. Also, Waymon Jordan, who started the season as a starting running back and was playing fantastic before King Miller took over. Due to Jordan's injury on October 11th against Michigan, he still hasn't played. He was in warm-up tonight in uniform, but didn't see the field tonight. And I don't know. It's just more the same from USC. The thing is, also Eric Gentry didn't play, the graduating senior linebacker. So that's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 6 major players that USC was without tonight. But at the same time, TCU's playing without their quarterback who hit the transfer portal, right? Now, you only enter the transfer portal if you're the starting quarterback if things are not working out, right? And so then that guy who hadn't been playing, it wasn't working with him in the first place, and the backup came in who didn't really play particularly well. Uh, and he was able to lead. Like I said, they were down 24-14 in the fourth quarter. But USC just continues to not have a killer instinct. They finished games better this year than they did in the past. But tonight, those old bad habits returned, and they were able to get that 10th win. So they finished with 9 wins, and it ends the season on a sour note. And Tanu Khan's, like I said, 6 catches for 163 yards. So like I said, he's the next big thing at receiver for USC. But who's going to be the number 2 guy? Is it going to be Jaden Richardson? Uh, he caught a touchdown pass, but he was the other guy. He had 31 yards receiving. That was all. And I mean, the Hines looked unstoppable, right? So that's good. But I mean, Jaden Maaba, like I said, he threw 2 interceptions. Uh, so we'll have to see if they get somebody in the transfer portal, kind of be the number 2 guy. So that's another thing that you have to consider. Who can they bring in the transfer portal? So it's not it's not the same team that USC is going to have next year. But you just look at it and you go, like I said, obviously Indiana, the number 1 team in the nation this year. They're going to USC will have to go to Indiana next year. Now Fernando Mendoza will be in the NFL, so we have to see if Indiana. But that guy Kurt Signetti has what he's done. Indiana's going to try out a good football team. We know this. USC's going to have to go on the road to beat them. And then, of course, Ohio State and Oregon come to the Coliseum. So that's why I said I felt like Hassan Longstreet gave USC a higher ceiling. He would have given them a higher ceiling next season, because I'd look at him as just a more dynamic option at quarterback, and instead it's going to be Jaden Maaba. And Longstreet still hasn't, he has not re-signed with USC. So it's like if we're only going to, say, all they're going to do is go 6-6 next year anyway. They might as well go 6-6 with the kid Longstreet, and have him get that year of experience under his belt, instead of going 6-6 with Maaba, and then Longstreet might not even be on the roster by the fall. He still hasn't resigned. Like I said, kids don't sit and wait these days. So I don't know, man. It's just a way to end the season on a sour note. You'll see now they won. I think they won the bowl game the last 2 years. So Lincoln Riley now 2-2 in bowl games at USC, and yeah, man, I just I don't know. It's just a sucky night, in LA sports, But, well, I mean, at least the Dodgers won the World Series, right? Well, that was almost 2 months ago. But I mean, the Rams lost. The Rams lost last night. So damn, Lakers lose. UFC loses. Rams lose. At least the Clippers. The Clippers now won 5 straight after they beat Sacramento down tonight. Everybody beat Sacramento down though. But they've won 5 straight. I talked about them last time. They're going to be in the play-in. Clippers will. They'll be in there. They'll probably overtake Portland. Nothing against Portland, but Clippers are always too good to be 6-21. Yeah, but we'll have to see what ends up happening for the old Trojans, man. Going forward, like I said, the number 1 recruiting class coming in. But man, I mean, who among us expects USC next year to be in the playoff. It'll be 5 years no playoff for Lincoln Riley at USC. You know, it's bad news, man. It'll be 3 years of a 12-team playoff, and he still won't be in the playoff. You know, so yeah, they got the number one recruiting class, and they're opening this new facility next year. But shoot, at some point, it needs to show on the field that there's some progress being made. You know, instead of just bouncing. I mean, just being mediocre. You know, but yeah. So a dour, sour night in Los Angeles sports.